Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving right into the origin of a legend, Superman. We're going to unpack exactly how a literal baby from the stars grew up to become Earth's absolute greatest hero. It's a crazy story about two totally different worlds that shaped him, so let's get right into it.
Long before Superman became Earth's greatest hero, he was a baby born on a distant planet called Krypton. Man, what a hook, right? Because you gotta remember, we don't start this story with the famous red cape or him soaring over a bustling metropolis. No, we are starting light years away, way out in deep space.
Section 1. The Fall of Krypton.
So, Krypton. It wasn't just your average planet. We're talking about a world entirely defined by insanely advanced technology and absolutely brilliant minds. But, that brilliance actually makes what happens next so much more tragic. See, when a top scientist named Jor-El figured out the planet was basically a ticking time bomb about to explode, nobody believed his data. It's just a massive loss. A super advanced civilization completely doomed by its own pride, just because they ignored the catastrophic reality staring them right in the face.
And this whole thing turns into a literal race against the clock. First, Jor-El is desperately sounding the alarm, but society just won't listen. Then, with literally moments left, he and his wife Lara make the most heartbreaking sacrifice imaginable. They place their infant son, Kal-El, into this tiny spaceship. It is absolutely their only hope. And then, at 0 hour, Krypton is completely destroyed, while that single, tiny ship races away into the dark.
Section 2. Journey to Smallville.
Now talk about a massive shift in scenery. On one side of the coin, you've got Krypton, the absolute pinnacle of technology and, well, doomed intellect. And on the flip side, you have Smallville. It's this quiet, rural, agricultural sanctuary. We're looking at two fundamentally contrasting worlds here. It's the ultimate nature versus nurture setup, and these are the two places that will ultimately forge our hero's dual identity.
So, the ship finally crash lands in this quiet little sanctuary. And that's where we meet Jonathan and Martha Kent. They are just a kind, perfectly ordinary couple who literally stumble upon a mysterious child from the stars. But here's the thing. They don't run away from the unknown. They actually take him in, they name him Clark, and they raise him as their very own son. It is just such an incredibly grounding, deeply human moment right on the heels of this epic cosmic tragedy.
Section 3. Discovering incredible powers. Okay, so as Clark grows up, we are not just talking about a typical teenage growth spurt here. He experiences this massive explosion of sheer physical power. I mean, we're talking super strength, super speed, flight, heat vision, the whole shebang. Just imagine the awe, not to mention the completely overwhelming responsibility of suddenly realizing your body can do these impossible, literal godlike things. It's wild.
Section 4. The true meaning of strength. True strength comes from kindness, honesty, and helping others. That right there, that is the profound moral grounding Jonathan and Martha Kent taught him. Because when you really think about it, it wasn't his Kryptonian DNA that made him a hero, not at all. It was that deeply human empathy instilled in him back in Smallville. That's what ensured his moral compass was just as unbreakable as his physical body. But here's the catch. Even with all those phenomenal powers and a totally rock-solid moral foundation, there is still a massive piece of the puzzle missing. Little did Clark know, his journey as Superman was really only just beginning. Because despite everything he can do and everything he's learned from the Kents, he is still completely in the dark about his true extraterrestrial origins. He has no idea about Krypton, no idea about Jor-El and Lara, or even the spacecraft that brought him to Earth in the first place. So it leaves us with this huge question. What happens when Clark finally uncovers the truth about his alien origin and takes that very first step toward actually becoming Superman? How in the world will his godlike Kryptonian biology mix with that deeply human Smallville morality once the truth is out there? Well, that is exactly the thrilling collision we're going to explore in our next explainer. So keep focused, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.